Before we dive into this terrifying story, please turn off the lights around you completely and use headphones. One day, darkness was prevailing all around, and as usual, I was returning home, but I took a road on one of the streets that had been close to my heart since childhood. This road we took for an entire life with my childhood friends. When we were young, my favorite game and that of all my friends was bike racing, and this particular street was our only place and refuge for that race, and to enjoy it away from the eyes of our parents. We used to call the street Monster Street, as it was full of tall trees and was often dark without lights on, unlike the other streets next to it. On the day of the incident, I was determined to discover mysterious things in the street. It was very late, and while I was walking in the street, I felt someone running strongly behind me, so I turned to him to see and find out what was going on. But I did not find anyone at all. I looked in front of me again, but I continued walking, wanting to end the road, which had become, for the first time in my entire life, somewhat mysterious and suspicious. For the second time, as soon as I looked forward, I noticed and confirmed the presence of steps approaching me. I turned to them, but did not find anyone. I hastened my steps, and the steps behind me were still following me. This time, I did not look at them, but I looked at some cars that were parked on one side of the street, and then I saw through the car windows, and the lighting was dim, a person trying to strangle me. I was astonished by the horror of what I saw, and as soon as I turned to him and was fully prepared to confront him, I find it too. What should I do then? I did not feel my condition unless there was someone attacking me with a large hammer in his hand, hitting me over the head with it, and blood was pouring down my face. When this blow fell on me, I found myself in the building of the hospital located on that street. This hospital had a back door filled with old trees to the point they cover it completely. I entered the hospital and found the security guard in front of me, whom I blamed a lot, as he was watching and seeing me when this incident happened to me. I talked to him a lot, but he ignored me. He only did one thing to me, which was as soon as I entered the hospital. A wide smile appeared on his face, but he did not say a single word to me. Not at all, despite my long conversation with him. Frankly, I got so upset with him that I insulted him with some words. I continued on my way and did what was necessary for the wound in my head. As a result of the blow, I suffered a crack in my skull, in addition to the wound being stitched, and it temporarily stopped the nerves and muscles. After I finished what was necessary, I left the hospital. After 3 days had passed, my brother came to me and wanted to go with me to hold whoever had done this to me accountable. I took him to the same street, and at the back door of the hospital I found what surprised me. The door was covered with rust and trees had fallen over it. I told him, saying I was struck here, and I was admitted to the hospital from this door. My brother was stunned. Are you sure you entered the hospital through this door? I told him with confidence and certainty, yes, I entered it from here. I entered it through this door. We entered the hospital through the main door. We went up to the director and I told him and my brother about the matter. At first, the director asked me, "What's wrong, my son, and what do you want?" I told him that I had come a few days ago due to an accident and that the necessary work had been done for me, but when I entered the hospital I entered through the back door. First, the hospital director produced papers proving my arrival at the exact time I mentioned, and then he insisted on going with me and checking the door through which I entered personally. The first time I showed him the door through which I entered, he told me, saying, "You know that this door has been closed for 25 years. It is the door for the morgue, and from it we used to take out the dead." After receiving many complaints from the residents next to it due to the screams of the families of the dead, we closed it, and the bodies are now being taken out from the main door.